Do you get insecure about your purpose? Do you wonder if it's significant enough, or do you question what it is? In this video, we're going to show you how you can step into your purpose today. All right, as we dive into this whole purpose thing, purpose is so important if you think about your life, and if you're just living a life without a purpose, it becomes tough to persevere through the tough times. So I'm going to share with you 4 elements to consider when you are trying to step into your purpose. Who are you? How do you define yourself? That is the first thing you want to look at. How do you define yourself? Who are you? If somebody asks, who are you? What do you do? All those things. What do you answer? Really spend some time thinking about that. Who are you? What is your answer to that question right now? And after you think about it a little bit, how has that answer changed? Who are you? And it does require some reflection, so I would suggest that you do reflect on that. Second point, I just touched on it. What do you do? How do you answer that question? What do you do? Are you a dad? Are you a mom? Are you a business owner? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a singer? Are you a dancer? Are you an athlete? What do you do? Just think about that. Take a step back and think about that. How many ways can you answer that question? What do you do? I'm sure each of you would have a laundry list of things that you could highlight as to what you do. So think about that. Answer that question. What do you do? And the third question is, who do you want to help? That is so important. And this may not be the predictable question that you thought I was going to go to as number 3, but who do you want to help? Because we are all designed to serve others. We are all designed that way. You always hear the saying, you get more when you give than when you receive, and all that. That's a cliche, but it is so true. So who do you want to serve? Who do you want to help? And point 4 is, where does God fit in? Where does God fit in this process for you? Because I believe that God has to have a role in your purpose. If God doesn't have a role in your purpose, then I would suggest to you that you're probably living a life based on something of this world, whether it be money or sending the kids to college or, whatever it may be. It may be things that can be taken away from you. If you are living a purpose other than God, in other words, God has a place somewhere in your purpose. And that is such a deep topic. So you may or may not agree with God. And if you don't, I would challenge you to look into it a little bit and find out what this God thing is all about if you don't know about it. So let me recap. The 4 points are, who are you? What do you do? Who do you want to help? And how does God fit in? So answer those questions. Really take some time and reflect on those questions. And within those questions, as you answer them and you see the answers and the words that you write on a page, or if you're typing it into a computer or whatever, you're going to start to understand what your purpose is. That is going to be a great first step. If you want more information on purpose, we have all kinds of information, workshops, masterminds surrounded and centered around purpose. So check those out as well. So when I look back at my own life and discovering my purpose, it was one of those things where I relied on society, the world, to dictate kind of my purpose. It was like whatever the culture was teaching. Your purpose is to go to school, get married, have kids, buy a house, pay off the house, retire, live happily ever after. I mean, that is what I saw as my purpose, is just being as successful as I could to provide for my family and yada, 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 yada. Well, that's fine until I discovered that's just a shallow purpose. For me, it was a shallow purpose. So what I experienced in my life after chasing that purpose and living off of that purpose is that it never was fulfilling. The desire for more kept coming, but never that fulfillment. There was always like that, well, what's next? What's next? What else do I have to do? What else do I have to learn? Who else do I have to be? All of that stuff. And it was exhausting for me. So for me, the things that happened in my life were really just being broken down to the point of, because I had all the success, I had everything that this world talked about. but I wasn't happy. And I'm like, man, there's got to be something more than this. And if you've ever asked yourself that question, even in a weak moment, or even after you've achieved something that you thought was going to really bring joy and all of that to you, if you ever said, wow, there's got to be something more. If you haven't said it so far, you're going to say it at some point. So be on the lookout for that, man, there's got to be something more moment. Because if you have that moment, and when you have that moment, that's when I encourage you to start talking, use these steps, and go back through these steps and do it under the context of there's got to be something more. And who are you? And that whole thing. Once I started talking into that, and I realized who I was a child of God, created for abundance and love, and to do amazing things in this world to serve the kingdom. Holy cow. That is a purpose. That is a purpose. And God has given me certain gifts that he wants me to share with the world. And I believe he wants you to share those same gifts that you have with the world. So I think a key component, at least in my life, was God coming into my life later on in my life. But the impact that has had has been amazing. So I really believe, for me, my personal story is that God changed everything for me in terms of finding my purpose. Maybe it's something different for you. Maybe you already have God, and it's taken another step in defining one of those other four questions or the other three questions that we talked about. Whatever it is, I think you're well on your way to discovering your purpose, walking in your purpose. At least you'll be able to get further into your purpose as a result of what we share here today. Subscribe with the notification bell to get regular updates. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button to see more videos like this. And comment down below with questions or comments to what we've presented. And we'll see you back here next time on this journey from isolation to community, where the next step beyond is freedom.